What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the video. I'm the Ghetto Gilly, and today we are going to be talking some PlayerUnknown versus King of the Kill. Now, some very confusing people I've talked to about this game say, "Oh, well, should a copy of King of the Kill?" Alright, well, we're going to get something straight right now. For this video that do not know, PlayerUnknown was developed and created by the man that first made Battle Royale for Arma 3, and then he was approached by the creators of H1Z1. They wanted a King of the Kill, or a King of the Hill type game, survival games. Also, sorry for the laggy connection. My computer was not prepared for the max quality of this game, but I run at a high 70 frames per second now that everything's on medium, so it's all good for the future. But yeah, people were wondering, why is it so much the same? Like, why are people so hyped for a game that already exists? And to that I say, well, for starters, H1Z1 has been out for almost probably 2 years now. Or King of the Hill has. Let's see, we still only have 3 vehicles. We have the shotgun, the AK, the M4. Those are the only rifles. I take that back, there's the sniper, but you might get that every 15 games if you're lucky, if you find the drop and it has the sniper in it, and you don't die right after you get the sniper. So, 4 rifles. Then there's the Makarov, the M19, the Python, and yeah, I'm pretty sure there's only 3 pistols. So we're looking at about, what is that, 8 guns? 7, 8 guns? Wasn't really. Yeah, 7, 8 guns. Whereas, let's look at what PlayerUnknown has for us starting off. There are, I don't even know how many guns. I haven't found them all yet. I've only played for so many hours, but I know for a fact there's the M4, the SCAR, the AK, the SKS, one of the 2 snipers. I mean, that already 6 guns. Then plus the, I think there's 3, 4 pistols. So we already have more guns, just leaving closed alpha. Book bags. H1Z1 has 2. This has 3. Gas masks. H1Z1 has no need for gas masks. In fact, I don't think there are. Yeah, there's not even gas masks. There's a gas mask on a skin. No, it's not. I take that back. Yeah, there's no gas mask. So, I mean, the appeal of the way your character looks, that's another thing. That's not in H1. Looking at King of the Kill, we have that. The vest, let's see, in H1 we have a craftable and we have a Lammy. Whereas in the new future King of the Hill game modes, we are looking at 3 stages of police vests. We have coats, just to make your guy look like a fucking savage. Like, you can look like you're from the goddamn Matrix when you're playing, which I do find, and you'll see in a second, is I get the full trench coat, you know, has like the armor pads, and I mean, it's completely ridiculous. It has no armor or anything, but I think it makes your character look kind of, you know, kind of cool. I mean, it makes him look very cool. So past that, let's see, what's more direct? Oh yeah, vehicles. Alright, H1, King of the Hill. We have a truck, a Jeep, a police car. Here we have an off-road, a boat, the normal car, a Jeep, and I think there's even a truck, which I haven't seen yet, but I think I've seen in the video. Just personally, I have not seen. So, in the map itself, the map is so much bigger. Oh, my favorite thing, besides the fact that you can see the map at the bottom bottom right-hand corner of your screen, if you hit the map and you were playing with the team, it shows you exactly where you and your teammates are, and it even tells you if they're in a car, which is also really nice. So, why am I saying all this? Now, as I stated at the beginning of the video, a lot of people are trying to compare these 2 games because the creator, that's the only thing they have in common, the creator. This game is already light years. Oh, I'm sorry, I totally forgot there's 2 different types of shotguns and a light machine gun too. Yeah, we already have almost, yeah, no, there are already more rifles in the game than there are all the guns in H1. It's not like the new content's coming out for H1. I don't remember the last time we had a new update. I mean, you have to throw in cases our way to try to, like, beautify it. And I mean, that's, I'll get to that in a second. But I mean, just my immediate looking at it, which one do I prefer? Honestly, I prefer Playerunknown'S Battlegrounds. I mean, there are attachments for weapons, which I do love. You see me putting on a red dot sight on my AK here. Or maybe, no, I'm sorry. I already put my red dot sight on, but there's extended mags. The grenades are actually useful. The doors are like you can shoot through the doors and like they'll like develop holes where they are. I mean, it's all around just a better game. There's 3 versions of healing methods rather than just the 2. I mean, I don't understand why someone would still be playing. Well, there's a reason that I will no longer really be playing King of the Hill, because even though my frames, as you probably can tell at the bottom right hand corner of the screen, are not really doing all that great. You know, they're kind of riding the low 50s, mid 40s. Once I changed everything, got it back on a round I played later past this, I was running the 70s and the 60 frames, so no worries there. So throw it out there. If you're running like a 970, is that what I have? Yeah, maybe, I don't know. If you don't have like the 1080, just turn it to medium. Game still looks phenomenal. Alright, so let's just put the pros and cons of what. So yeah, there's the trench coat of what someone who hasn't really played much of the game knows of right now. Alright, but I've watched a good amount too. More guns in Battlegrounds. More vehicles, Battlegrounds. More in-game, like, I don't want to say costumes, but more in-game looks in Battlegrounds. It's just a better quality game. Oh yeah, the Uzi too, forgot about that. The map is bigger, or maybe it's not and just it feels bigger. The map is more diverse. There is different weather climates. It can rain, it can be sunny. I think it can even snow, I don't know. So the more vehicles. So right now we're looking at what, 6 or 7 pros. Now, the con of why this game might not do good, people are probably going to look at it kind of shamefully like, oh, this is just his excuse to get more money, or this, that, and this. Well, it's not true. I believe this game is, well, before I say that, let's refer to the culling. You know, everyone thought, oh wow, the culling's gonna be so great. It's actually just a Hunger Games mode. It's so much fun. And that being said, I played the culling. I love Hunger Games style modes. Any game, the culling was great for like a week. After the week, some people still love the culling. Other people, the hype died down very quickly, because I mean, when it comes down to it, it's like we could play with guns and play with bows and arrows. Which one would you prefer to use? You know? The thing about the culling is whenever someone got a gun, it was over. But back to the 2 games at hand. King of the Hill. Now, I have to admit, the pros of that game, it can be ran on almost any computer at high quality. It's not very graphically demanding, it's very well optimized, and frankly, I think it makes it an all-around great game. It has a standing that is going to be very hard for Playerunknown to, you know, kind of take away. I would love to see this game kind of conquer H1Z1 and kind of put it in its place. I think H1Z1 is kind of as much as I even love to play it, I think it is kind of an overplayed game. It's not the quality that it should be, or it could be at the age it is. Oh, another thing, the inventory system. I love the way the inventory system works in here. Now, one thing I do have to say that I do prefer H1 over is the crafting system. I love being able to craft things, craft bandages. Now, that being said, as I said, I am new to Playerunknown. Maybe there was crafting and it just completely went over my head, did not notice it. Like, you can scrap clothes, make bandages, there you go. But as of right now, I had not seen any of that. Have not seen any of that. So that's kind of my one issue with the game is the craft. I liked having the crafting system, but you know, I mean, I know that was already in H1, and they just kind of didn't feel like taking it out. I remember the original King of the Hill when it was more of a we still had the summon in the pit meme. It was far more like, all right, here's that, and it looked like it had a lot of prospects. Obviously, as we can see, it didn't really have a lot of prospects. Second thing, the red zone. You can see it. You can see me leaving it now. Or I'm sorry, I'm entering the red zone now. And I didn't really know what the red zone was, but in a game, you have a pretty good idea of what the red zone could be. A dangerous area. You're probably gonna get hurt, or maybe there's a lot of loot there. As you can see, I was wrong about the loot. I was correct about the danger. There were explosions everywhere, and it kind of gets your adrenaline rushing, which is one thing that I loved DayZ for. DayZ Standalone, one of my favorite games of all time, is because it really got your adrenaline pumping. Like if you were in a firefight or something, like most people, at least the first time, could, if they were to check their heartbeat before and after the firefight, their heartbeat's going to be probably pumping a little bit more. They were getting really hyped. Now, at this point, I was kind of confused because I hadn't seen anyone in the game. Now, that being so, big map, 26 people, you're probably not going to see very many until near the end. But no, we didn't see anyone. But I figured, hey, if I get a middle of the circle, I'll find something. Which is another thing. I kind of wish Playerunknown would have done something a little bit different than the gas. I get it's like electricity, but it's still like, alright, dude, I know you made the game, so I'm not going to talk bad about the idea of it. The gas was a great idea for H1. I feel like you could have thought of something a little bit different. Like, maybe, like, a fire... Well, no, that probably would have caused a lot of lag, having, like, Molotovs go off everywhere. Or maybe just, like, a big red zone explosion. Well, no, I guess that would cause... Yeah, no, I guess it's probably the only way you could have done it. Well. Neither here nor there. So... What was I saying? Oh yeah, right. Alright. So, I do prefer Battlegrounds over H1. I will be playing a lot of Battlegrounds over H1. I think the graphics look much nicer. And that's that. Now, we're going to enter the part of the video when I'm talking less shit about H1 and a little bit more about the pros of H1. Alright. As someone that plays CSGO, I love H1. The concept of being able to have my guy where you won't see it right now in the video switches over because my looks aren't the same. But in H1, I have the tie-dye leggings, got that Safarian helmets. I'm full like tie-dye rainbow. I just think it's ridiculous running around like that. And I love the concept of, as I said, like CSGO, having skins and crates. It's probably just the inner gambling addiction inside of me. But I love betting on things. It gets me hyped. I'm like, oh god, I could win. So I loved opening cases. I probably spent a lot of money on cases. I also bought skins that I wanted, but I also spent a lot of money on cases because you gotta get that knife roll, gotta get it. So that is one thing that I think H1, I wish they hadn't done the same, but I can understand why they took it from there. Here's all these items, here you go. My issue with the crates were they were awfully expensive. Like, I got the fact that, oh well, with CSGO you'd have to buy the case and the key, whereas this you only have to buy the case. But the thing about the case is you had to buy the case in multiple quantities. You couldn't just get like one case, one key. You had to get like 15 cases. I think it's like 5 cases for like $15 or something along those lines. Honestly, at the end of the day, it probably comes out to be the same as CSGO cases. But I don't like the way they did it. I like the animation, of course, but where you're shooting the crate, but I don't like the way they did it. So the customizable options, and I think that until because I know Playerunknown has crates currently, but they're also 700 coins, which I think is the same as an H1 case. So I'd have to look again, but it's like, they're not as wacky. They look far more tactical. It looks like the suit and the tie. It looks like very survivally. Post-apocalyptic, or in this case, I guess danger. Yeah, I guess like danger. Get that feeling. Yeah. So just the overall aspect of the way it works is I like having the more because of yes, my current H1Z1 guy does look more serious, but it's because I was watching a lot of PlayerUnknown'S stuff and I wanted to look more like a badass than like a ridiculous clown running around with an AK and an M4 and a shotgun. But, oh god, I'm about to watch myself get domed again. Spoilers. No, but, so, oh yeah, the Tommy gun. Yeah, so many more guns. So many more weapons, but I said I wasn't going to talk about H1s and trash about H1 anymore. Now, see us diving in. I like the intro to H1 more. I like the concept of being able to jump out wherever you want in PlayerUnknown, though you go much faster in the parachutes. The drop zone to PlayerUnknown is kind of slow, because I think it pulls your, like, I like how it tells you the distance you are from the ground, but it's kind of unneeded, and it pulls your chute for you about 500 yards or something, 500 meters, whichever one it was, I don't quite remember, but it pulls your chute for you, and you don't really have a choice, which I like going to the last second in the game when I can pull my own chute. Just like seeing like, nah, I don't need an example of that. No tangents. Alright. So, let's talk more about H1. I like the way the drop is. You can kind of handle your own speed. It kind of throws you into a random area, which I've never been too fond of. But I mean, if you get to the ground fast, it really doesn't matter where the fuck you are. Whereas PlayerUnknown, you could be the last one on the ground, and that I'm not really fond of. I also like the speed H1 has. You do get in games much faster, which is much nicer. But that's not what I mean when I say the speed. I just mean like the rate of things. Like, I think in the entire time I did that one match of PlayerUnknown, I did 3 matches of H1. Now, that being said, I didn't really make it very far in either of them. I was not doing all that hot today in H1. It was one of those times where you can't hit your shots or you just come around the corner. It was just bad luck day. Bad luck for a good old Gilly. So, yeah. One thing is that both games do... God, I'm such a child. I just left at that. They both do properly is being able to go in almost every single building. I have yet to see a building I cannot go in PlayerUnknown, and there are minimal buildings you can't go in H1. I love that. I think it's very, makes the game feel much more open. As far as the controls, I get that PlayerUnknown probably didn't want to change the controls up, but come on, dude. You need to keep the controls the way they are. He changed up the controls a little bit, like the bandages, first aid. Bandages are like key 9. Like, why the fuck would you have that? Like, I cannot tell you how many times I hit the damn E key trying to heal myself. The point where, but I can't change it because you see, you need the lean. So I have to adapt to hitting 9. That kind of fucks with my head. I wish he would have just kept it the way it was. But so, yeah. I don't really know what else to say on the fact that I think the reason that PlayerUnknown is not going to surpass H1, which I don't like, is the fact that H1 has been around longer. It was the first, and I kind of feel bad about that because he made the first, yet his own will never dominate. It'll come close, but it will never surpass what he made, which is kind of, I mean, it's almost sad in a way. It's like killed by your own creation. But no, I think PlayerUnknown is here to stay, and I think it's going to be here for a while. I mean, it's a very high-quality game, and I personally enjoy it a lot. One thing I think is interesting, too, is in one game of H1 today, I gained 3 crates. So it's like, are they trying to butter me up a little bit? You know? Like, are they like, hey, we know that you got PlayerUnknown, we know it. I know it's kind of gaining popularity. Don't forget about us. Here's some crates. You still have to buy to the opening, but here, buy some crates. Yeah, buy crates, please buy our crates. Which I think is I think kind of funny. Excuse me. I think it's kind of funny, but God, that threw me off. I didn't know what was happening on that when the game would load in that part of the house only. I like the ranking system, the way that you have a rank. Now, maybe it's just something that I haven't noticed, and maybe I have a rank in a PlayerUnknown. But, yeah, you gotta love when your computer, or I guess this was my H1, because my computer didn't start like moaning or anything. My H1's just like, I'm gonna take a minute. There we go. But yeah, so I like the ranking system. I like having the bronze, silver, plat. I love rankings in games, but yeah, as I was saying, maybe there's a PlayerUnknown ranking that I don't realize, and I have a ranking. But if not, I think he needs to get on that right away. It encourages people to play the game. Like, you really show on the leaderboard, hey, I'm the best. I am the better H1Z player than you. Like, it has a competitive aspect to the game, and I think people really do like that. Another thing that maybe people need to understand about the games is they can coexist. They can, but that's only if people understand that they are similar yet different. I wish they honestly wouldn't coexist. I kind of wish PlayerUnknown would take it over, but I think that's going to be the happy medium that we're going to have to get to, is for both players to be satisfied. The more serious gamers who want to play PlayerUnknown, and the more just kind of let's dick around, just run around in tights and a tank top with a shotgun, like are willing to stay in King of the Hill. But in conclusion, both games, I know my rant kind of went really both ways, and it was mostly just me talking shit for the most part. But I enjoy both games about equally. I think they both have a lot of potential. One game obviously has much more potential than the other, considering this one has King of the Hill is frozen. But yeah, I don't remember last time we actually got a proper update to skins, just more and more skins. Though I think the concept of both games is quite fun. I also like how in PlayerUnknown you get energy drinks instead of the canvas shoes to run faster. I think that's I thought that was pretty funny. I'll change it up. Excuse me. But I think the intensity of both games are equal. As someone who loves getting their adrenaline like pumping in a video game, I know personally that PlayerUnknown is where I'm going to be spending most of my time. I'm going to log the amount of hours that a normal person should be sleeping probably in PlayerUnknown within the next week. But in conclusion, guys, I would totally recommend playing PlayerUnknown. I think it's a great game. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed, and see you on the next one. Peace.